Dude, I am so excited that you're here.
Oh,
Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I love the sunglasses. I love the hat. You just have like this get up about you that's like cowboy. Are you from the South?
Not at all.
Is this just something that you've taken on?
Yeah, I mean, going bald.
Okay. So you chose the cowboy hat.
Yeah, I mean, it's more like I was just tired of the regular hats. I mean, it's more like this. Like, I mean, it's real easy for me to blend in.
Okay,
if that makes sense.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
I could just throw
you
a
look
hoodie
really
on.
good.
Oh, thanks.
Like
Thanks.
with the hat and everything.
Yeah. It's just like I can put a hat on and then I stand out a little bit more. I don't know. It's just me. I like cowboy hats.
Fucking love you, dude.
Thanks, dude.
We have fucking James Godwin here.
Yeah.
Fucking photographer and who knows everything else above that too. He's just everything. You do everything.
I do a little bit of
everything.
A lot.
Yeah. You how long? So, wait, how old are you by the way? Right now?
I was born in 1979.
79. That's the year that. So you're 3 years younger than my mom. Okay. So
Nice.
You're like, okay. Yeah.
She's single, right?
Probably.
There
She's
we
got
go.
one hand. If you're into that.
I don't. How's her teeth?
I think she has them. I think
That's cool.
that's like, that's already
It's
above.
not a deal breaker either, but
Yeah.
just-
I was gonna say that's funny. But yeah, so you are like what, 45, 46? Something like that?
42.
42. I was way
yeah.
too high, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, so yeah, my mom would be 45. Yeah, that's that's what I was doing. Anyway, so you're a photographer. How long have you been doing that?
Probably about 2003. Is when I
2003?
started on a film camera.
I've talked about this before with some people. What's the age where you start using years to to denote like when things happened? Because like, you know what I mean? When you're younger, you're like, oh, like you remember like 2 years ago, 3 years ago? And then it's like, and then, or like 10 years ago. And then it's like now, once you get older, you're like, remember back in like 2004 when you and I were just like hanging out at this bar and you're like, what?
It's funny because I want to say it's probably my early 30s. It was like I realized like saying 10 years ago was 20 years ago. And now, like,
oh shit,
yeah, you know what I mean? And
fuck
like,
yeah,
because in my head too, I still feel 25. You know what I mean? Except my back hurts. It just reminds me that I'm not that age anymore. But
interesting.
Yeah, but like to me, 10 years ago is 2000.
That's crazy to think about, because I've thought about that too, because I just had that moment in my brain where I was like no longer 23.
Right.
I don't know like what happened, like, but why there was missing years, but for some odd reason, like there was just one day that I just like kind of like woke up and I was like, I just like realized it. I was like, oh wait, I'm fucking 26, 27. I'm 27 now, but like, fuck. Like,
yeah, it just keeps getting faster too. Throw a kid in there and the next thing you know, it's like you watch them advance very quickly. It's pretty crazy.
Damn.
Yeah. So.
And you said you have 2 kids, right?
I have 2 girls, yeah.
Hell yeah. How's that like? 2 girls in a house.
It's been a wild ride. Yeah. They both had health issues early on. So it was pretty scary there for a while. The oldest one had heart surgery at 9 months. So it was like a substantial percentage that there they go.
Hey.
But yeah, it was like kind of a substantial thing where she wouldn't it was probably at 30% chance she wouldn't make it.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's pretty scary to do. And then like the second one, she was born I want to say 9 weeks premature. So that's about 8 weeks in the NICU.
Yeah.
She can't come home, like
my
stuff like that.
My sister's baby was
they're fine now, by the way.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's so crazy, like sometimes like it does take a lot of work to just like keep them going, because my sister, her baby, I don't even know what was wrong with her. It was like maybe like a hole in somewhere in her body, and so they had to like keep her in like the NICU for months. Like she had to go like I can't even imagine like leaving my baby with like complete, like not even family. Like by the end of it though, she did say that a lot of those nurses and stuff like that did kind of become like really close and family like. But
yeah, I mean, one of the head surgeon bought me Subway because he just ran into me in the cafeteria, you know, and we had lunch together. And I mean, I'll never forget it, you know, and like the guy who actually performed the surgery, I was just in awe of him because the size of a heart when you're 9 months old is very tiny. And so she had a what's called a cleft mitral valve.
Okay.
And then a bunch of holes between the chambers in her heart. So it's like a cleft palate.
Okay.
You know, but it's your mitral valve. So, and like, it was interesting because it's the first baby. You don't know
what's going on.
Things.
Yeah.
Just things. Like there's these folds in your neck. Like there's these wrinkles you have here from these folds you have when you're a baby a lot of times. And like, you got to clean that out. And it's just like you know what I mean? It's like things you don't know, but it's like your first day on the job and you're learning on the job. And this little girl, she would grunt all the time. And I was like, damn, babies like grunt like all the time. But it was because she wasn't getting enough oxygen in her lungs. So
shit.
she's like grunting and like trying to push forth effort and
so
stuff like that.
did you guys know right away?
Not at all. No.
Whoa.
No, not at
shit.
all. Yeah, we did it on a checkup, and then we found out like.
Thank God. Dude.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
dude, that's insane.
Yeah, it was insane.
Wow.
It was a whirlwind. It was like from like finding out to like we got to get this done now, you know, and like. And what was crazy too is we had like a 1-bedroom apartment, so we had her sleeping in bed with us the whole time, which is kind of like a thing you're not really supposed to do.
Yeah, I've heard.
And it's hard to get out of that habit, and that's how she learned how to sleep in a crib was in the hospital. But she was dope. I mean, it was like they go into surgery, she comes out, she's standing up, bouncing around, like having a great time. Like babies heal very, very quickly too. So it's like. It was amazing. It was a beautiful, beautiful moment where it was like, I don't know, and I'll never forget it. You know, wearing my girlfriend's Uggs, like tromping through the snow, and because she was born during a blizzard.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah, it was a whole intense thing. Like it was nuts.
Damn.
Yeah.
So, my dad had 5 daughters. Mm-hmm. Okay. So like I am wondering, like for someone who only has 2 kids, you have 2 daughters.
Yeah.
How do you think that affected you as a man, like emotionally? Like,
oh well,
because
like,
you know what I mean.
For me, I have.
Were you always been like kind of like soft?
Me, soft, like
not like soft, but like you know what I mean, like kind of like a little bit more vulnerable than.
I would say like I have a history of childhood trauma, so I have like a history of major depression, and like I always had this like thought in my head like. Do I really know what love is? Do I really know what that feeling is? And the moment I saw my daughter for the first time, it was like, oh yeah, I know what that is. All right, cool, dope, yeah, solid, dope, yeah, I will kill anybody.
Yeah.
Like, I was looking at every man in that room too. I was like, who's this dude trying to get after my little girl? You know, like it was crazy. It was funny too, cause like, the nurses had to take the baby away from us because, like, you know, we're up for like 40 hours. Like we're laying in this hospital room and just staring at this thing that we made. Like, and we just couldn't sleep. We were like amazed, and like they had to take the baby away so we would get some sleep. But anyway, kids are a blast. They're in high school now, so it's a whole
thing. Fucking
whole thing.
Women in high school. Holy shit.
Yeah, you know, and it's all these things you never thought. Like, I was just like worried about drugs and like, you know, sex and stuff like that. And then it turns out I don't have to worry about that stuff at all. And it's like other conversations that I never thought I would have about like pronouns and gender and stuff like that. That is all the new stuff to me also. And like, so I'm learning a bunch of stuff from that.
That's
and then
crazy.
They teach me cool stuff like, that's lit, you know? I'm like, oh,
dude,
is that a good thing?
The new vernacular is crazy.
It's wild.
Dude, they'll be like, wild. It's lit. It's period.
Okay,
period.
Bestie. Okay, bestie. And I'm like, what?
Yes, queen. Yes. Like, what is happening right now?
Well, and then I was giving Katie a ride, and then she's like, all right, bestie. And I was like, that's the thing my kids say. You know, like You guys are all the same. It's a blast.
It is super crazy because my sister is 21.
Yeah.
Maybe 22 now. But I have been hanging out with, like, I work with, like, people who are around that age in, like, the restaurant. And it's like, when I talk to them and then I call my sister, like, to have a conversation, it's so crazy. They all have, like, that slight Valley Girl accent. Right. And they all kind of, like,
their own little slang.
Like, little, what are you doing? Like,
the vocal fry.
That.
Okay.
That's what it's called.
Got it.
Yes. What is that?
Vocal fry.
What's happening?
It's
we don't live near the beach.
It's like a subliminal thing. I don't know. Yeah.
Because that's wild. Like a beach thing, isn't it? Like, I always feel like surfers,
a Real Housewives kind of thing, or like, something like that. I don't know.
Like, you know what I mean? Just like cool. Like, hi, dude. I'm like skateboarding or surfing. Yeah. Like, what's up, bro? Like totally Cali vibes. That's what I'm getting.
I did have a theory though about the. I mean, the reason why I thought the vocabulary is changing so rapidly is because this is the first, like more people are talking to each other now than ever at any other point in human history, if you think about it, you know. So like we've always been locked into like a certain culture region or and like even like thousands of years only a certain amount of people could even read, you know, and then let alone write, you know what I'm saying? So like
you're just saying that like the language is evolving because it's being used more.
So much more. Yeah. So much more. Okay. Exponentially. You know what I mean? Like, what, 3 billion people are on Facebook? Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? What all that communication with each other, like, it's got to evolve by leaps and bounds compared to what it has in previous eras. Do you think
that at any point in time in the future that there will be, like, a universal language? So not like one language like English or Chinese or something like that, but do you think
like Star Wars?
Yeah, something where like everybody on the planet just like, because like you said, everybody's using it and it just like becomes like the cultural norm that
it would probably take a long time to get to that point, I would say. Probably like at least 500 years. I don't know.
Let me ask you
know
this.
What I'm saying?
Okay,
like,
let me ask you this. Like, what do you think would happen first?
What?
That? Or chips in the brain to where we could just...
Chips in the brain, for sure.
Really?
Chips in the brain are probably like 30 to 50 years away from being a common use item, I would estimate.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean?
To think about. Like, fucking...
I mean, it's not... I mean, I'm holding it in my hand right now. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass. I mean, as far as technology is today, we're in the dark ages. Mm-hmm. We're in the middle ages. Yeah. You know, it's like dark times. Like we just had a whole thing trying to restart shit, plug shit back in, unplug it, plug it back in. There's still a universal serial bus that's not universal to shit. You know what I mean? It's like...
Dude, there is like one. Mm-hmm. There's like one that I just plug it into and it just doesn't supply power to anything. Yeah. So it might just be a data one, but like I have no clue.
But like, don't you see that there'll be a time where we can walk into a place and not need to like... look for the power cable to plug the fucking PA in. You know what I mean? Like we could just walk in and be like, yo, what's up everybody? And not worry about the batteries and the wireless mic going out or like some crazy shit like that.
God,
you know what
dude.
I mean?
Yeah.
But you could see nuts. Like where it could possibly be. And like there would be a point where like it would just be it's fine. It's good. It's good. We don't need to like what other improvement can we do to it? Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Do you have like high hopes for like the technology in the future?
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, when I think of like the population as it's like you have so much processing power in your head. Yeah, and I do too. But when we collaborate, we combine that together. And when humans combine to solve a problem, the more that come together, the better that problem solving becomes, you know? So it's like if we all push forward to solve a problem, I think it's like, or if enough of us do, you know, and you've seen it happen with certain technologies and stuff like that, you know?
See, my only fear is that like, as like we start getting closer to the technology portion, I don't like, this is my fear is that there's no like human connection whatsoever.
What do you mean?
Like there's not the human emotion inside the technology.
But it is. Why isn't there? Like, so when we started out...
It's like hugging somebody.
When I first was sending text messages. Okay. First of all, it cost money every time I sent one. And I had to hit a button 3 times in order to get to the right letter. You know what I mean? It took forever. Now I can send you a voice message. I can send you emojis. We've invented a whole new hieroglyphic system that people immediately know exactly what you're feeling. You know, it's gotten better. It's still not great, because I've still had people completely misinterpret my text messages, and nothing has replaced face-to-face. But now I can, like, just hit a button and I can see your face. You know what I mean? So it's like,
but do you think that that's the same? But do you think that that's the same thing though, as like seeing a loved one, like in person?
No, I mean, but it's substantially better than what it was. So, like as far as when I was growing up, I had to call you on a phone that was in the kitchen, you know, and now, like, I can, like, jerk off with my girlfriends, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm in Texas and she's in Ohio, you know?
That's
like,
crazy.
It's dope.
Yeah, I'm just worried that, like, eventually that, like, you know, we'll get to that point and we'll start to forget that human aspect, like the actual, like, being right next to each other and collaborating, as opposed to just like being online and sharing the ideas. Does that make sense? I don't know.
I understand the apprehension and the concern around it. Yeah. But I mean, I think it's also too, like, people develop this stuff in order to facilitate a better human connection.
Yeah.
Like, think of podcasts, and the long form conversation is way better than bits and bytes, you know? So that's why it works. And people will sit and listen to someone talk for an hour or 2 hours if it's interesting. You know what I mean?
But something to add to my point, though, is that they're watching, like, the actual human connection.
Right. But
you know what I mean?
Well, and
maybe that's what they're yearning for.
What I would get on too is, what is technology anyway? But an extension of human connection. We've developed this ourselves. We evolved on this planet. We're part of it, and so natural evolution is for technology, for tools to advance to a certain point, to take us to a level where we can connect better and better and better and better. I mean, like, so what ultimately would a chip in my brain do is connect to another chip in your brain, and then I could send you my thought almost, or a direct idea, you know, or not a half-baked idea, just an image I have in my head. Like, how many times I've had a shot that I'm trying to line up, and I'm on a video shoot, you know, and it's just like, I can't even explain what I'm going to do to you. I just got to do it, and trust me, you know. But if I could directly send that thought right to you, you would be like, oh yeah, and then you probably could feedback with me, you know, and it's a much more primal sense to it. So that's where I see it going. But I also understand, like, the whole Skynet takeover kind of thing. But, like, people get a little more hyped about how advanced things are, as opposed to what they really are. So, you know, I mean, originally I started building computers when I was like 4 years old. So my dad was an engineer in a computer lab and stuff like that. So it was, I've been around technology my whole life, and, like, in the guts of it too. Like, so I understand a little more about, like, the limitations of it. And it's like, the stuff breaks down so much. Yeah. Like, to think that it's going to be able to take over everything is like, what? No, it's not. Like, we can't even get it to work. It's all extension cords. It's all extension cords running all over the place, like, all over the planet right now. You know, I mean, we haven't even gone to, like, solid wireless.
So let me ask you this: do you think, do you think that, like, that there is, like, a human aspect where, like, you could read somebody's mind? Like, sure. You think so?
Why not?
Do you think that, like, maybe the chip in the brain thing, those two things connecting, do you think that there's, like, an actual, like, human, like, thing that we have?
Yeah.
Where we could, like, I can, like, look at you and be like,
right now, we've had it for a long time. It's called a book.
Yep.
And it's direct telepathy between the author and the reader every time, you know?
Okay.
And Stephen King explains it really well in a book he wrote called On Writing, which is just fantastic. But it's like how he sets up a scene, and he says there's a table in the scene. In your head, you see a table, but then he'll later say it has a red checker cloth on it. Your memory will retroactively fix that image in your head. You know what I mean? And it's really interesting how that works. But it's essentially like I'm writing something down and then communicating it to you. And then, like, is ESP or whatever, I don't know, but, like, you know, you can sense things from the sound of my voice, the timbre of it, the way my facial inflections are, if I'm angry or sad or happy and stuff like that. But there's even like nuance within that too.
Yeah.
Which is why a comedy works so well. So it's like you're saying something. It's not just something you're reading off a paper. It's like how you're saying it and the inflection and the waiting and the pausing and it's interesting to me. It's all interesting.
You started doing some comedy recently.
Yeah, I mean, I originally, yeah.
You originally what? You wanted to be a comedian?
The first time I went on stage was in Chicago in 1999.
Okay.
And it was terrible. It was amazing. It's probably the worst thing I ever did on stage, so it was cool. Yeah.
So did you want to be a comedian then, or did you just give up?
You know what? I never even thought it was like a possibility for like people just went out and did this as a job or like got good at it, you know? And then it just never entered my brain, you know? But I always was into film. So it's like, I mean, like I went and saw I clearly remember seeing Back to the Future in the movie theater. This is how old I am.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But it was like, it just like made me fall in love with filmmaking, you know, like, and like, so I started working in a movie theater when I was like 13 as an usher, and then worked up until I was probably in my mid 20s in movie theaters, and then went to film school, and then started working in film since that point. And then, but then did photography as well at the same time.
So let me ask you this: what kind of film do you like doing? Like, if you're gonna like shoot it, like if you were gonna shoot your own project, what kind of project would it be? Would it be a drama? Would it be a comedy? Would it be a?
I did a narrative drama in 2011.
Okay.
And that did a pretty decent festival run.
Okay.
But we didn't get distribution or anything, so it was kind of fizzled out at that point. But yeah. So dramatic narratives usually is what I like, you know. But it's mainly I don't have the budget for sci-fi, so. but it's really like if I was to do sci-fi, it would be really a dramatic narrative with allegory.
Yeah.
Based in, you know, so you could tell better stories. You know, there's a lot of stories you could tell in sci-fi that would turn things around for you in a way that like it shows you the flaws in our own thinking through the
Dude, my favorite movie of all time is Interstellar.
Interstellar, huh?
Yes.
That's intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, literally I will watch that movie every fucking day of my life. I don't even watch movies either. So it's like like that movie. And then also The Martian. I thought that was a really good one.
Oh, The Martian's really good. Andy Weir is a fantastic
I didn't
author.
even read the book, but the movie was like really good. At least, I mean, I don't know if the book was like way better. I know that they always say that, but like,
yeah, the book is
I
better.
feel like, but like I feel like they did a really good job.
I would say this: it's like so when the book is being written, that's the direct thought of the author, right? And when you're seeing a film, is a collaboration between many groups of people, you know. And so when you have a completed project, just having a completed project is just amazing feat in and of itself, whether it's good or bad. It's like, God damn, we got through this somehow and finished this off. And if it's good, then it's icing on the cake a lot of times. It's like, but then it becomes a kick in the teeth every time you're like trying to get people to come see your movie and like, I promise it's good. Everybody loves it, you know? And it's like, no, man, it's cool. How long is it? Hour and a half, bro? Nah. Dude. Nah, dude. It's cool, though.
Dude, oh, man. Something I was actually just thinking about, you know, because we've been talking a lot about, like, collaboration and everything. Isn't it crazy, like, how, like, in, like, middle school and in high school, you I mean, I did, just hated group projects.
Fuck yeah.
Like, I fucking hated them because, like, you don't know who's all going to put in the work and everything. And it's just, like, so nuts to me to think that, like, you know, we are now trying to get towards that.
Dude, and, like, I would say it got real for me at Comfest this year because I had a booth with my company. And I was just walking around because I've collaborated with a lot of artists over the years on murals and stuff like that. And it was just wild. Like, it's just like a big community, you know. I don't even know where I'm going with this. But it's like,
Help,
but yeah,
I'm high and
well,
can't
but,
get down.
so
Help.
I hated doing group projects as a kid, you know what I mean? And now it's like I really thrive on that. Like I really walk around, I'm really proud of every, like, and it's like a lot of these people, I was so like nervous. I had such anxiety about like taking an artist's work and then like I have to recreate it in like another medium. So it's very like,
Yeah.
you know, imagine I'm taking your painting and I've got to take photos of it and then I've got to like print it. Like it's crazy, dude. And so a couple of people I had not even ever met before. And then I was like, oh, you're this person. And then it's like hugs and like, it's just wild, you
Dude,
know?
Yeah.
Or taking photos of people. Like Halima gave me the best compliment ever. It was like, she said she's never really liked photos of herself until she saw some photos that I took of her. And I'm like, it's like choking me up. I'm like, oh my God, like that's worth it, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's so worth like, and I'm so happy and I have such gratitude for like the fact that I woke up this morning just with, I'm able to do this stuff, you know? It's just amazing to me. It's like,
so
yeah.
When did you decide that you were going to like go that route?
Go what route?
Like the film route and everything. Like what was like the thing that
pretty much early on.
Was there was there a movie or anything?
It was like I was in the projection booth, and you know it's your job to like keep an eye on the films, make sure it's like working right. I mean, you pretty much just turn it on and you're good. You're good for a couple hours. And I ran a theater. I ran the one at Easton, so it was 30 projectors. So it's a massive theater to run at the time. It's not that much anymore, but it's. But yeah, I would just see these movies. There's 30 movie theaters at this place, and so many of these films just suck ass. They're just so shitty. And I was like, dude, I know I could write a better script than this. You know what I'm saying? Like.
So it was one of those moments.
You were like, why not give it a shot? Like,
Yeah.
I was sitting.
That's funny.
Because the movie theater was always like a second job after a certain time, and I had started working at a bank. I've had like every job, you know. I was a landscaper. I worked at every fast food place, but growing up. But it's like I worked at a bank, and then I got behind the scenes in this banking, where I was like, you know, behind a secure terminal, behind glass, where it was like dealing with the federal government ACH deposits to people and like social security numbers and stuff like that. So it was a very secure thing, and it was very fucking boring. It was so goddamn boring, and I made great money. Okay, and I was probably like 22. You know what I mean? Okay. And I was making dope money, and I hadn't gone to college, and the military didn't really work out. So it was just like, this recruiter called me, and she was like, "What can I do to get your ass down to Florida and go to film school?" And I said, "Fucking anything. Get me the fuck out of here." You know, and so I saved up money, and I got in my pickup truck with a bunch of belongings that did not need to go to Florida because I'd never moved out of fucking state before. And let's say I made it to, I want to say West Virginia, when I started hearing the rattling in my truck, you know, and it was January, so it was like snowing in Ohio. I got to like North Carolina, got out of my truck, it was like 70 degrees. I was like, this is dope. And then, because I'd never like gone on my own before. And then by the time I got to Florida, the rattling in my truck had gotten like crazy. Okay. And like the guy I was supposed to move in with wasn't home in Orlando. And so I was like, fuck, like who do I know in Florida? And so I got a hold of my cousin who lived in Gainesville. And I look at the map at the time, there was just a map on paper. You know what I mean? So, and I look at the distance I had gone, Columbus to Orlando, and then I go the distance from Orlando to Gainesville. I'm like, it's not that far. You know, it's like probably 2 hours or 3 hours or something. I don't know. But by the time I got to Gainesville, I had blown out every gear in my car except fourth because of manual transmission. And like, so I had to pull off right at the exit where he lived. And then they had his roommate come pick me up and get all my shit out. But it was just like, Florida was a mess from that point on. It was crazy.
And so where did you go to film school?
Full Sail.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was thinking about trying to go out there for a little bit. Like I had applied to a different few things. I was gonna go for like game development.
Yeah.
But
I was looking at the game development too. And
I know a few people who've gone to Full Sail. That's crazy.
Yeah,
it's a really big school.
It's gotten substantially bigger too. And then I got my film degree from there, and then I got a business degree from there as well. So and that was dope. And then when we released our film, we got to premiere it at the Florida Film Festival, which is right across the street from our school. And then we got to go to the school and do a big presentation and shit like that.
Okay.
It was pretty sick. But yeah.
Damn.
But it was dope.
Full Sail.
Full Sail, dude. And I will say, too, it's just like anything else. You're going to get out of it what you put into it.
Okay.
So, you can just go and get attendance. You have to have a 90% attendance in order, or you automatically have failed the class. You know what I'm saying? So, and me and my buddies were always we stayed during spring break and made a feature film with the instructors. We were all crew on it. So I learned more from that experience than I did from like classes and stuff like that. But yeah, it was a fun time.
So when did you move back then?
Oh, right after graduation.
Okay.
Yeah. My sister had a kid, so I moved back, and then busted my ass delivering my demo reel on VHS tape to every production facility in town, and then landed a salary gig doing live production, like video for live production. So like that's where I got my start in doing live production stuff. So like, and the company I work for did like the Arnold Classic and like just huge events, So
damn,
it's like putting on comedy shows now it's a little bit different.
Yeah,
it's like a PA and a microphone and some chairs, and I'm like, yeah, we could do this. This could work.
Dang.
So yeah.
And so you've just been doing that shit ever since, like just like.
Yeah, kind of producing stuff. Yeah,
okay.
It's more of just like solving problems all the time, different stuff all the time, I mean, just getting it done, whatever it takes.
Isn't that like, I feel like I've noticed that myself, just like in my comedy when I'm like, just like trying to like focus on like more of like the business aspect of it.
Yeah.
It's more or less just like trying to figure out problems. It's just like, okay,
right.
I need to figure out how to get this much time. How do I do that? How do I get a show at a bar? How do I?
Yeah.
Like
I know a person. She's got a space. She's interested in putting on shows
exactly.
here. Who do I know who can put on shows? Who do I know who has chairs? You know what I mean? Like, and it's like, we're on the open mic circuit, and I see the same comedians rolling through the same open mics all the time, right? And it's like we should have a list of like who has PAs, who has microphones, like. You know what I mean? So we all know like who's got what.
Yeah.
So it's just a little organized.
I feel like there's a lot of collaboration that can be done in the scene.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm trying to help a lot of people right now with like reels and stuff like that because I'm like trying to like because if I know like Facebook they monetize pretty quickly and I'm trying to just tell people I'm like yo if you guys can like you're not gonna make a living. But you'll make some money that could potentially pull away from any part-time job that you have that would then allow you to put more time into comedy.
Yeah.
And if we can get fucking 10 people in the scene to add an extra fucking like 10 hours a week to comedy, just like trying to help coordinate things and everything. And I'm not even say produce every show or whatever, but like we just need more collaboration.
And understand too that we are part of the art community in this town. So it's like there's things that we can do to help lean into that. You know what I mean? Like there are grants we can get to help fund, getting certain gear. So it's like we could help get a PA or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like if we wanted to set up a showcase that's like a weekly or bi-weekly or something like that, like we could do something like that to help get people more involved in the community because it's a huge community at this point. I mean, how many open mic comedians are out there every night? Like
exactly.
Like how many were on the list at Hank's last night? Like 27.
I wasn't there.
So you weren't even there.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? And that's not even like I would say
that was
like,
probably not even half the scene. You know what I mean? So,
right. I would say there was like 50 people that are regularly going to open mics alone. Which is great. Like, I don't know how that would be bad, you know?
It's not bad, yeah.
And
we just need a little bit more collaboration and coordination when it comes to some of these things.
It's difficult. It's like herding cats.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Have you ever herded cats before?
Yeah, actually, to be honest, herding cats is not that difficult if you got the right cat food. You got some good catnip. You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
Yeah, I mean, and again too, it's like it's just like anything else. It just takes communication and grace and understanding and not taking things personally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just going, okay. You know, if somebody, okay, cool. Whatever you want, man. You know, and it's all good. It's all good. We'll try our best.
I love how fucking chill you are. You're just so you're just so fucking chill. Got the sunglasses on. You're just like,
I
dude,
gotta be, dude.
All you,
I
bro.
can't.
It's all you. Just
can't get crazy.
You want, dude.
Anyway, yeah. I'm usually at like a 2.
How long have you had tattoos? Is this your only one?
No, man. It was my cousin and I used to hang out when we were kids. My redheaded cousin, you know. So he was a little bit of a hellraiser, smoking cigarettes, that kind of shit. And one time we decided to grab some India ink. We probably shoplifted it. And we got a needle, and we each gave each other tattoos, right? And I got little. It was basically the vague idea of a cross, you know, which is weird because I'm raised Mormon. We don't do the cross thing at all. But and I gave him a tattoo, but the ink I gave him was red, and it didn't stick. His didn't, but mine did. So I had these little dots that I later, as soon as I turned 18, I went in and got covered up with a different tattoo, and then it just started going down from there.
Going down?
Yeah, I mean, like, I always had planned a sleeve, and it took me years to get to land on like an artist and a style. But,
okay.
And it was more of like covering up some other mistake and stuff. And I mean, I actually have like scars on my arms from like burns. Okay. So it's like I kind of like wanted to get that kind of covered up. And it's nothing anybody would ever see but me.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like just one of those things. It just reminds me of childhood shit.
I've always thought about getting tattoos, but I also am like, not that it's like I would be like ashamed of myself, mm-hmm. but it's almost like why do I need a tattoo? What am I saying by if I get a tattoo, like what's the message that I'm putting, you know, is it for me? Is it for others? Like what, you know what I mean? So it's like
I will tell you this.
Okay.
No one cares. No one. They don't give a shit what you have. If they do, they probably want to fuck.
Okay.
So I had a couple dudes last night. They were asking me a lot about my tattoo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're like, dude, the cowboy hat is just for show.
One guy really liked the cowboy hat.
Oh yeah, he was really touching it. He
took it off me quite a bit.
And he put it back on.
Oh, he groped me too. He grabbed my junk. He was dry humping me from the back. I felt his boner. And Katie was like, "This is not okay. That's not okay." And I'm like, just
let it happen.
No, I'm not cool with it. I'm not gay at all. But it's like, it's just
whatever
funny.
You want, bro.
It's just funny because like I have not had human contact in so long. So my only thought is like, please don't get a boner. Like I really don't want him to think that I'm into this. And then like
for a minute, I thought you were just joking. I thought this was a bit, and now
no, it's not. It's really this is my real life. No, because then he tried to kiss me, and I was like, "No, I'm good, dude. I'm good." And then, Katie stopped him, and then he tried to kiss Katie, and then I was just like, "Holy shit, this guy's hammered,
dude!" He was on me
last night.
Hell cool. Yeah,
gay bars are funny, dude. I always have a good time. Always have a good time.
Oh shit. Yeah, I've never been to one.
Never been to one?
No.
It's not like it's not
I haven't been to a gay bar.
It's not a big deal.
I worked with a lesbian, I lived with a lesbian who used to work at 4th Street and Union, I believe. And 4th Street, I don't think it exists anymore. But
no.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, but she used to work there, and dude, it was just so crazy.
Dude,
like
yeah.
Lesbians
lesbians get down.
Dude, they're crazy.
I used to roll with this crew of lesbians, and we had a blast at like Club 161 or some shit like that. We were shooting pool, and I was like, man, we all had the same interests. It was great. We were all into the same things, you know. Yeah, but yeah, there's many nights that I've ended at the Tremont, which is just a blast, you know. But it's funny because I'm not gay, so it's like, you know, I'm just
fun.
I mean, I'm not like my mom had a bunch of gay friends growing up, so I was always raised around gay guys, you know, and it was awesome. I was just very comfortable, and it's crazy too, because like I remember one guy was pretty close, and he passed away from AIDS, in like 92. You know, so it's probably like 11 or 12 at the time. So it was a big impression on me, and like my thoughts of the community and stuff like that. Where it's like I've always been down with the guys, you know.
Down.
Yeah.
Just down. Except last night, you weren't.
Oh
down.
no! I mean, I've had plenty of boners rubbed on me. It's no big deal. You know, I'm not scared. It's just a boner. It's not a problem.
That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was gonna say I don't think I've. I mean, I've been hit on by men, but like not like I've never been out in a bar situation.
I've definitely like made out with guys and stuff. It's not a big deal.
Dude, look at you.
It's a spectrum, bro.
Last night you just
no. I mean, I'm just not like, it's not my thing to like, I don't know. I'm single, and I kind of like it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And like, as far as like, I'm not into like being in a bunch of different random relationships with people, especially at this point in my life. But I've never really super been into doing that like that much.
Yeah, I was gonna say
maybe in my 20s,
I'm normally
my 30s, my teen years. So, but 3 decades. But other than that,
I hate being single.
You hate it? I mean, let's just say like there's things about it I really don't like. You know what I mean? It's like, at this point in my life, it's like I'm not socially isolated, but I'm alone. You know what I mean? And I hate cooking for just me. I hate, like, I definitely like would rather wake up with somebody, you know, but like, it's cool. It's also like freaks
I will say
me
during
out.
the pandemic, I really did enjoy being alone. That would
have been way cooler than my experience. That's for sure. That's for sure.
You just didn't. I didn't have to like cater to anybody except for my like. It
oh
honestly,
my god!
It actually helped me a lot because that was like, you know, during the pandemic, a lot of people like started learning how to bake. They started learning how to do all that stuff.
That sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, but like for me, it was like a way to like, because I had time to like worry about myself.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to like focus on like, you know, learning how to clean my house,
right.
learning how to fucking make myself food every day. Like, you know what I mean? Like, instead of going to McDonald's all the time. I still do now, but
yeah, it's wild because that's where it's like sometimes I feel like I feel my age a little more because you guys are like still figuring that stuff out.
Yeah.
And like it's not like, oh, I already figured it all out. Like I had no choice. Like I had another person I had to feed them or they would die. Like I had to teach this person how to poop, you know, and I did, but like, and I just solved all those problems like 15 years ago, you know. So it's like that's just where I'm at in my life. It's like when you're 40, you'll be at a different stage. You'll have a bigger studio. You'll have like a relationship, so. And you'll have these kids, and you'll be like, "Oh, I get it, dude.
Yeah,
I get it,
dude." Kids, like I said, I'm 27. I couldn't even imagine. Like, I mean, I do want kids. Don't get me wrong, but like,
I'm down to have some more. I got a window left.
Okay,
I think about 8 years left.
Get it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I just am not in a spot for like the children. But like I always hear.
Well, you get yourself in that spot.
That's what I hear.
Like I was not in the spot, dude. I had to leave that first job and like go to another employer and like read negotiation books before I talked about my salary with the guy, and like I essentially took my salary and doubled it from that first job, which is silly, but like I had to feed like a girl and a child, you know what I mean? It was crazy.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
So what kind of projects are you working on right now that are big and upcoming? Anything that you're allowed to share?
Just finished another mural.
Okay.
So I do.
You paint?
No. So I have a coaster company.
Oh, okay.
And it's basically like ceramic tiles. I put my photos on them, right? So this is where I'll collaborate with other artists because the applications for the ceramic tiles are more than just like, I normally put cork on the back and I have a photo of like Brutus Buckeye on it, or, you know, I'm licensed with OSU, but it's like a skyline shot of Columbus. Like it's a way to sell my photos without competing with other photographers in town. You know, because there's plenty of great photographers who take that same skyline photo.
Yeah.
But like, I don't want to get in their way or step on anybody's toes. So I found a niche product that works well, but it also, you can apply it anywhere. So you can put it on the wall. And then, so what I'll do is like, there'll be a painting. I'll take like 300 macro photos, like close up detail shots of this painting, and then stitch them together in this giant Photoshop file, and then I'll make a mural out of it. So if you ever go to the convention center and park in any of the parking garages down there, I've done about 20 murals in there. You know, and the latest one just got completed at the Hilton, the new hotel that's just being completed. All the elevator floors are now, they're glass with a painting underneath each elevator. 6 elevators total, so it's pretty sick.
And you did that?
I took a painting that was painted, and then I designed it for the elevator, and then produced it, you know.
Dude, that's fucking dope.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, that's what's going on.
Now, do you go and check out these places? Like
what?
When they're finished?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's crazy, too, because I did one in an elevator core that is a painting that goes, it's actually 4 stories tall. And it's insane, and it's just all inspiring in a way. And I can't believe I did it, because I just made it in my garage, you know, and I just do it in little sections at a time. And it's like, yo, let's just get it done. Just
that's
like 14 hours, like ADD.
So you're saying that
like
your painting or your picture is on the it's like underneath?
It's an artist painting.
Okay.
This one was done by Cody Miller. So I took his painting, and this one I scanned at just a stupid resolution. I had like a really high class scanner, and I scanned it in sections, and then took it in Photoshop, and I have to enhance the colors because my printer can only reproduce certain things, and I know what pops, and I understand what the client wants. So and then to enlarge that by like orders of magnitude, like by 10 times, you know, and it's just crazy. But you can go to it and you can see like each tiny stroke of the pencil that he used, you know, and each brush stroke is like massive. So it's
wow.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy to see.
That's nuts. I haven't seen any of these yet.
I'll send you some photos.
Sweet.
So you can put them on this if you want. Yeah. It's crazy. But and what's crazy too is like it comes in, that part of it comes in fits and starts. So it's like I completed that project right when they started shutting the city down for the pandemic. And so it was nuts. Like, so I never really got to go down and like
check it out
and like see it in action until this year. Like I was at the convention center, and I purposely park in this one garage so I know, but every garage I have something in there. You know, like there's one at the Good Ale garage, which the 670 goes right by. And there's the Planters Peanut one. You can see it from the freeway.
Oh.
Yeah, I did that one.
Oh.
Yeah, but that's Amanda Hope Cook painted that wood stuff, and that was, and then I had to design the layout and stuff.
So you're doing you're remixing people's art. It's
in
like
a way,
TikTok.
so it's a collaboration.
So you're just like taking it, you're stitching it, and you're
stitch it
boom.
together, and then like, you know,
the original TikTok.
Yeah, and I work with clients and the board of directors at the convention center for those particular projects, but there's multiple projects that we do, you know. But I mean, it's just like helping promote the artwork in our city, you know. I mean, we have a great town. It's a small town, to essentially like you know 10 people in a certain area of like art per se, you know, then you basically know everybody.
Yeah.
You know, if you're in the music scene, you know this person, like, you know, pretty much everybody. Like, you can get connected pretty easily. and it's awesome. Like, and the level of promoting art in the city is I think it's great. I mean, you know, like Cincinnati has fantastic murals, like, but we're getting up there, I think.
Hell yeah.
You know, yeah.
And so is that like your main like job right now is to do murals?
No. That's just the fun part. Like,
okay.
Mostly it's more like craft shows and selling coasters to people. And I'm in stores too, all over the city. So it's like, and then I have a line for Cincinnati. I have a line for Pittsburgh. Like, I have a Cleveland line.
And then you like take pictures of their skylines and stuff like that and do that?
Oh, yeah. So it's like I'd say I have about 650 images right now for Columbus, you know? Wow. And it's just like, and it's crazy shit. It's just like the Hey Hey. You know the Hey Hey? It's down in German Village.
Okay.
My parents met at this bar. Okay. And then my baby mama, we broke up at the same bar, you know? And so I have this story, and I have
beginnings and endings.
Yeah. So there's always a story behind it, you know? And then people have other stories that, like, they had their first date with their now husband there, you know, and so it's just helping promote places around town and stuff like that, because there's a lot of history here.
Is that like one of the magical spots, the Hey Hey?
Yeah, sure. And the Mohawk, my grandfather used to get in fights in that place all the time. Like, it's just dope, you know? I mean, but magic. I'm from here, you know.
It's real
like,
magic right
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah.
Savage.
Savage.
So,
and then there's comedy stuff going on.
Yeah, I was gonna say we touched on it a little bit. I was actually gonna bring it back up. So, are you like just like trying stuff out, or are you like gonna try
my comedy?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, so I kind of started thinking about getting into it. Like, I did my first thing at Fours in 2019, and that's when I kind of started. But I took like a pretty hardcore break. And I'm just now getting back into it, and it seems like there's a lot more mics now. Like, every night there's a mic, basically. Mm-hmm. Sometimes there's 2, sometimes there's 3. So it's like you can go out and get time, but it's always been like a writing exercise for me. And like, I'm a documentarian at heart too, so I'm like the experience of the process, understanding this feeling, understanding where I'm at, what stage I'm at in the game, you know, I originally started, I had nothing. I was just up there talking into a microphone, and it was not funny at all. I might have said a couple things that might have made people laugh, but it was just more stupid than anything else.
Yeah.
Now I have more structured things that I've written that I think have structure, but it's like, okay, I got to get past the anxiety of getting on stage.
Yeah.
And now I've like kind of gotten past that, because nobody's at any... Or like, you're going up like
there's mics every night, but no one's there.
Well, I mean, like, so Hanks is great for that first hour, but like, when you're in
Fours can be pretty
when
good
you're
sometimes.
in the 20s. Yeah, Fours can be. So it's like, it's not saying like don't go. Like, yeah, they're worth going, and like, if you get on the list in the right spot, like, you'll have good people, or you could have shit people, and you got to fight through that. And there's a value to all of it. Yeah, you know.
Something that I've noticed is that like when I'm in a bar show and there's not a lot of people there, that as long as as long as there's a few non-comedians there, if you can like get them to like laugh, like one or two of them laugh at your joke, you might actually have something. You know what I mean? Because it's like at bar shows, people don't want to be there half the time. It's like, oh wait, there's comedy going on? Yeah. We didn't know that. Like, are we gonna stay? Well, yeah, we'll hang out for a little bit.
And I'm very interested in the different levels in the process and all that stuff too. And then so there's like, I'm real interested in doing guest spots. You know what I mean? Like sneaking 5 minutes somewhere on someone's show. You know. Yeah. And I don't think that'd be crazy for me to be able to do. And I'd like to crash and burn there. You know, that way. But I feel like there's a really good value to having an audience in front of me and like ruining someone's show by getting up there and doing my stand up. But like, at least I'd know if this joke is really funny or not, you know, because again, like, I love the open mics, but you know, let's get out there and do some real shit, you know. Let's get in front of a group of people. Let's get in front of a group of people that are there to see comedy, you know, because each of these audiences is going to be a different feel to it, and like it's just like Funny Bone, right? Everybody's going there to see comedy, but they're gonna have like 100 different types of audiences that'll come through there too,
Exactly.
So it's like there's always a challenge to it and always a lesson to be learned.
I was gonna say I have noticed that, like, you're doing shows. If you're doing like a ticketed show, like it can be so much. It's so much easier.
Do you think so?
I
could see how that would be easier. I could definitely see how that would be.
It's because
easier.
they want to be there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I would say when I was doing some stuff at Hank's and I got up early, there was a bunch of people there and they were all there to see the comedy. I asked them, I was like, who all came out here for comedy? And a bunch of people were there for that. And I was like, oh, no shit. I better not fuck this up. And the playback on it is valuable to me because I can hear people actually reacting to the jokes I'm saying.
Yeah. And you're recording your sets too, right?
Every time.
Hell yeah,
every
baby.
time. Except for that time you interrupted me. And then I learned, let's not talk shit with people around, like right before you're going on stage, And then, but what I learned there too is like, don't, like if somebody's like, I'm about to go up, that means, okay, cool. I'll talk to you in a minute. You know what I mean? Because I have a tendency to just blah 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 all night.
Well, I had that happen to me the other day. I like went over to a comedian and asked them a question. I had no clue that they were going up next, and they were like, I'll talk to you later. And I was like, and it wasn't rude either. It was just whatever. It was just like, I had no clue, because it's like there's a lot of people who they need that like small little time window to be like, this is the joke, this is the joke, this is the joke, this is the joke, these are the jokes I'm going to do, blah blah blah. Maybe they're adding a tag in there or something like that.
And that's what I'll tend to do when I'm up there when there's nobody there or it's just comedians there. You guys nobody's really paying attention, so like I'll not get my pacing correct, and I'm really trying to get my pacing down, because what I want to do is have a tight 5 minutes. Like that's my goal, is to have a tight 5 minutes. Right now I've got like a loose 7, and I want that to be tight to 5. But it's like, okay, I don't really know if this is funny or not. And my timing could be better. And then it turns out 3 of these things, I could drag those out to a minute and a half. Just by pausing the right way. And like, and it's funnier usually when I do it that way. So it's like, I'm getting more comfortable with what my voice is, and understanding what Nikki's telling me about her experience, because Nikki Winkleman's been in this game for 17 years. So it's like understanding what she's saying to me and how like, because I asked her about anxiety and does she still get anxious by going on stage, and she's like, yeah, when it's a big show or it's a big deal, but like as far as an open mic, no. But she would still go.
Too,
and like, and then I started sitting there thinking about it, like, and then the last few times I've been going up, the anxiety is not really there. And I'm very much comfortable talking.
Something that I'm trying to work on actually is that like I'm not great at crowd work. But like I serve tables.
Right. And that's a great way to fuck with crowd work.
Like, and it's hard for me to take that on stage though. For some odd reason, there's like a connection that I can immediately, maybe it's because they're there specifically to get food and I'm going to be the guy that's delivering that service. So it's easier to either break some tension or whatever. But like a lot of times, like I like try to do that shit on stage and I just like fumble. I just like,
and it's like a thing with your brain. You've got to figure out how to tap that part, because like I would say, like for me, it's been, I've worked in retail and for my whole life. And always had that like proper way of like, in the bank, this is how we have to talk. We can't do this, we can't do that. But then when I was running my own company and started that, and I want to say, even before that, I was helping my friends do it in about 2012, I would say. But it's just us selling art at art shows. It's like a carny lifestyle, is what we called it. And like, so I don't have to be proper. I can be fucking goofy. Most of the time, like I would do these shows and I would give a person a coaster so they would go over there and get me a beer. You know what I mean? Because I can't leave the booth. So, but I really want to drink beer. So, and like, and you get real comfortable with people. So it's like a decade of shit talking to people in Michigan and Ohio and Texas and stuff like that. And then, but it's like, I got to figure out how to tap into that little, because that's essentially crowd work. One person at a time, just trying to get a person to laugh, because if I could get somebody to laugh, then they probably can turn it into a sale. You know what I'm saying? So taking that experience and trying to translate that into being on stage has been an interesting little challenge too, especially when there's no one there. So, but like I like try it every single time I go up when there's people there. I try to interact with them a little bit, because some of the playback too is like somebody will say something and I'll just try and continue on with my thing. Like I'm not memorized, but I'm pretty close to memorized.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, as far as I feel like I'm doing really well for where I'm at in a way, because I'm not looking at my phone anymore.
Yeah.
So that's a big deal. I'm just like, I have a little bullet points on a piece of paper, which,
That's perfect.
People 10 years in are still doing that.
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like that's good. But yeah, as far as what I'm going to do next, I mean, I help Simon produce these Don't Tell shows. So we got some of those coming up, which those are always a blast.
Yeah, as I say, they look like a hell of a good time.
Oh my God. I mean, they always sell out and the crowds are always fun. And I will say too, it's wild because a lot of the people in the audience have never even gone to a comedy show.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And they're always in the secret location. And so, and the place is always, the rooms are usually really great for comedy. I mean, I see people just crushing there, because you get like 50 people in like a coffee shop, and it's just like the laughter just is
booming.
It erupts. It's great. So, and that's another thing. That's another reason why I was kind of kicking myself in the ass to get up and do some stage time, because since I helped produce these shows, I gotta, like, as a business owner, you always plan for certain scenarios. Like, what if a fire happens? What if this happens? I gotta have a backup here. I gotta have a backup there. So, what if Simon can't show? And I've got 4 comedians going up, and somebody's got to fucking host. I need to know how to do this. And I can't go fuck it up. And I've got to be able to go up and give at least 2 minutes of like, welcome, here's the rules, and I got to do it in a funny way, and then get the crowd going in a way that sets up the room for everybody else. So understanding how that process works, at least even to do it in a basic way, like as a super backup, like everybody would know. And I could even make a joke out of this, like, somebody got stuck on a plane taking a shit, so I got to get up here and do this. I'm not used to it, and then people be a little more forgiving of me. But but that's part of the
James,
things. What?
Where can we find your work?
Film James on Instagram.
Film James on Instagram. Do you have a website or anything?
ColumbusCoasterCo.com.
Hell yeah. We'll fucking put out all that shit in the description. People can buy some coasters.
Sure.
Maybe look at your work.
I do customs too,
Oh, hell yeah.
If you want to send a picture of your butt or something. I don't know.
Well, guys, this was James Godwin. This was...
There's cameras here, I forget.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's good. You guys, thank you for listening. Remember, you guys can support Help I'm High through the support listener system, online through Anchor.
Yeah.
Listen to us on Spotify. Watch us on YouTube. All that good shit. Thank you guys
Thumbs
so
up.
much, and we'll catch you guys in the next episode.
Like and subscribe.
Dude.